Hi everyone! Today I'll give a nice speech on electric cars, which includes everything from their history of development, their pros and cons, and why I think that they will be the future of the automobile industry. Cars as we know them now have been around for more than 100 years, and electric cars have existed for even longer. So you might ask, why aren't they dominating the streets now? Well, the speed and range of early electric cars were limited by their battery technology. As a result, the more powerful internal combustion engine and the convenient way of filling up gasoline soon became the trend. However, as we learn more about climate change in the 21st century, we also discover a problem for gasoline cars. To get power, gasoline needs to explode and burn, thus emitting CO2. These greenhouse gases exit to the atmosphere and pollute the environment. In developing countries where environmental rules aren't as strict as the one in the US, this is becoming a major problem. So we need to take some actions to ensure that our future generations will still have a place to call home. Naturally, the current improved electric cars seem to be a valid solution, since they have zero emissions. However, they still need electricity to charge their batteries. Your electric car is only as clean as its source of power. And if your electricity comes from a coal or natural gas power plant like one of these, then unfortunately pollution still exists. They just come from the power plants instead of the tailpipes of gasoline cars. So does that mean electric cars are actually worse than current gasoline cars? Not really. See, power plants have higher thermal efficiency than most current gasoline cars. And they can centralize and deal with the polluted air better than DMV can deal with the smog from all the gasoline cars. Besides, half of the Americans today are using electricity generated by renewable energy. These technologies are making tremendous progress to give the world clean electricity in the near future. One might also worry about the pollution from mining and disposal of the rare earth elements needed for the batteries. Well, pollutions exist but in a small scale, and damage can always be minimized through recycling. So we conclude that electric cars can be clean in the near future. But we as consumers demand more than just being clean. We need to be satisfied with them as our daily tool. So are we? So one day, when my friend realized he forgot to charge his car, he was halfway to his girlfriend's place and nowhere near a charging point. So he had to push his car to a nearby cafe and borrow their electricity. His girlfriend, meanwhile, has waited for 3 hours for the third time in 2 weeks and decided it was enough. So my friend was pretty sad after the breakup, but he still had to sit in the cafe for another 4 hours for his car to finish charging so he could go home. But this girl sitting at the cafe noticed him and started talking to him. And by the time his car was done charging, they were already in a relationship. But when he drove her home that night, the battery on his car caught on fire. They both managed to escape, but she never talked to him again. Moral of the story, electric cars were not as reliable and convenient as we want them to be yet. But change has arrived. Ever since their first car in 2008, Tesla hasn't ceased to astonish the world with its fast, intelligent cars, capable of traveling a few hundred miles after just 30 minutes of charging. Tesla made the electric car fashionable, and it gives everybody a chance to appreciate this progress. Under Tesla's influence, traditional car manufacturers became more determined on the role of electric cars. Meanwhile, Chinese car makers are making critical development in electric cars with the hope of clean air in mind. Given that China has transformed from a country with only bicycles to the largest car market in the world in just 30 years, imagine what it can do to transform the world in the next 30 years. For a start, Tesla will be building its factory in China. So not only electric car is the future, it is also one that's worth looking forward to. Thank you, everybody.